The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 123, Plan B. Lorik? Vera asks as Lorik stands up. He takes off his communications bracelet and drops it in the wagon. Then he draws his sword and creates a sword aura. Plan B Nixfang, Lorik says, speaking to her with his soul. After telling her that, he swings his sword aura, cutting the horses free. The aura scares them, and they speed up as the wagon slows down. Lorik, what's going on? Rowan asks, looking around worried. He knows Lorik has better senses than him, so he assumes he senses something. Lorik doesn't respond, and Nixfang comes leaping out of his chest. She runs in front of the wagon as ice appears around her fur. It turns into a harness made of ice that shoots back to the wagon. It grabs and freezes around the sides of the wagon, and Nixfang speeds up. She runs much faster than the horses, nearly knocking Rowan and Vera over. They had gotten up and weren't ready for the sudden increase in speed. Lorik! Vera shouts while grabbing his shoulder. Lorik turns to face her before picking her up. He grabs her by her hips, manipulating her gravity. What put me down? She says as Lorik tosses her in the back. She lands on her ass, barely avoiding crashing into Sarah. Stay in the wagon, Lorik says sternly before jumping off the side of the driver's box. Lorik? Vera shouts as he manipulates his gravity. He stays in the air before coming to a stop. He turns and looks at the wagon before smiling. Nixfang created a wall of ice over the back, trapping them in. Since she's now 5th tier, they'll have a hard time breaking through it. Lorik watches the wagon disappear into the distance before turning around. There, he senses 3 approaching mages. Now that he's a 5th tier mage, his senses are a lot sharper. His Law of the Hunt already gave him sharper senses, so now his senses are on par with a Grand Mage, albeit a low-level Grand Mage. He senses 2 mages, one 6th tier, the other 1st tier, along with a Grand Mage leading them. Lorik takes a deep breath to steel himself before activating his law field. He takes out his bloody cape and soul weapons. He doesn't have time to put his armor on. He didn't wear it before, as he doesn't know if it would be recognized as Valthrone's craftsmanship. The 3 mages he sensed hone in on him, as his law field is like a beacon. They come into view quickly, and Lorik can't help but sigh when he sees them. One of them looks about the same age as Lorik. They have short brown hair with blue patches. They're wearing a set of light metal armor and holding a sword. He's the 6th tier mage, and next to him is the 1st tier mage. The other mage has short blue hair and bright blue eyes. He's wearing a robe and holding a staff. The Grand Mage is someone Lorik's seen before. More accurately, he's seen their clone. It's the red-haired king of Calvaris, Godric. Just like the last time, he's only wearing a pair of shorts. No armor, no shoes, no weapon, just shorts. Master, be careful, Nixfang tells him, causing him to smile a bit. Focus on keeping them safe and getting across the border. I'll let you know how this goes. Lorik replies, both of them speaking with their souls. Once he's done replying, the 3 mages land. It's your lucky day, son. You get to capture the soul law user before catching the princess. The 1st tier mage says with a smile, but don't waste time. We need to go after the princess before she has a chance to cross the border. He adds while patting his son on the back. Don't worry, father, I'll make this quick. The 6th tier mage replies before rushing Lorik. Blue flames engulf his sword, and he brings out his law field. It crashes into Lorik's law field, and they fight for dominance. Lorik senses his winning, but slowly cancels it, making it seem like his lost. His law field disappears, as blue flames cover the ground. He does his best to fake a worried expression as the man charging him laughs. How weak! I expected more from the man my liege wants captured alive, he shouts before raising his sword. He brings it down on Lorik. Lorik casts Heavy Beast Paws and blocks the sword with his claws. I expected more from someone that bastard brought with him. Lorik replies before reactivating his law field. It immediately overpowers his, trapping him in the middle. Garoth! The 1st tier mage shouts in a panic. Lorik fills his gauntlets with sword auras, imbued with the Law of the Hunt. Garoth steps back, but Lorik's phantom wolves surround him. Now that he's 5th tier, he has 15 phantom wolves in his law field. His 15 soul swords have already embedded into the wolves, enhancing their strength. The 1st tier mage runs in to save his son, as the wolves all attack. Garoth kills 2 of them before Lorik kicks his back, knocking him to the ground. He had panicked and didn't keep track of Lorik when he realized he was surrounded. One of the wolves jumps on his back, holding him down as the others bite and claw away at him. Flesh tears under their claws and bone snaps between their fangs. The gruesome sound fills the air along with his screams. "Garoth!" The man's father shouts while waving his staff. Blue flames dance along it before flying out, creating a wave of blue fire. The wave is 2 feet off the ground and shoots out. The wolves jump off Gareth as the wave goes over him. Both father and son are stupid. Lorik mutters while jumping into the air. The wave of fire blocked his line of sight. Within his law field, it's hard to sense Lorik, as is with all mages inside their law fields. So charging into his law field while simultaneously blocking his own line of sight is a mistake he will regret. Lorik lets the law of gravity in the air envelop him. He hovers in the air for a moment as the fire wave passes by. Then Garoth's father runs over next to him. Lorik swings his claws, shooting out his hunt-infused sword aura. Garoth's father roars with rage upon seeing his son's dead body. He looks around for Lorik before sensing danger above him. He looks up, just to see the sword aura inches away. Flames burst on his staff and form a shield around him. Lorik's first sword aura shatters the shield, but disappears in the process. His second one cuts the man in half. His dead body lands next to his son's. Lorik then lands before turning to Godric, who's just grinning and staring at him. Now that was impressive. No hesitation and no mercy, not something I expected from a kid like you. Godric says while calmly walking into Lorik's law field. Anyway, it's a pleasure seeing you again. You do remember me, don't you? Godric asks. I do, and can't say I feel the same. Personally, I wish we had never met again. Lorik replies, causing him to laugh. I know my first impression wasn't the best, but I have a proposal for you. I want you to hear me out, Godric says, causing Lorik to scoff. And if I don't? Lorik asks. Godric's smile grows cold before he slowly raises his right leg. His flesh around his bare leg starts bubbling like boiling water before he slams it to the ground. The ground shakes as Lorik's law field shatters. Blood sprays out as the force of the stomp bursts all the bubbles on his flesh. The wound immediately heals, and his leg returns to normal. Let's just say you won't have a good time and leave it at that, Godric says before walking to Lorik. He stops when they're about 6 feet apart. Well, let's hear it, Lorik says with a sigh. He's planning on buying time, so he can't go chase after Vyra and the others. Good. To start with, what do you think about eternal life? Godric asks, stunning Lorik. What? Eternal life? What kind of bullshit are you on about? Lorik asks, causing him to laugh softly. How old do you think I am? Godric asks, surprising Lorik with the sudden change in topic. I don't know, maybe 30 or 40, Lorik replies. I'll be turning 256 this year, Godric replies. Bullshit, Lorik says, causing him to laugh again. If, and this is a big if, what you're saying is true, how? Lorik asks after he stops. Magic, my law to be exact. I doubt you know what it is, so I'll just tell you. It's the law of flesh. As you've seen, this law lets me control my flesh and recreate it. I can shoot it like I did with my clones before, or repair it. I can even tear it off and form clones, though it's complicated. But most importantly, I can make it. I can remake the parts of my body that grow old and keep myself eternally young. It took a long time to figure out, but it was worth it for eternal life. Godric explains. Lorik just stares at him, not in disbelief, but because he wants to buy more time. He nods after counting to 30. So what does that have to do with me? Lorik asks. I need your soul law. My flesh may be eternal, but the soul is not. I have maybe another 50 years before my soul collapses from the strain of my longevity. Godric replies, causing Lorik to smirk. Now, why the hell would I help you? Lorik asks. Many reasons. The first being that we will share this eternal life. I can't just make my flesh eternal permanently. I need to replace it every so often. I'd imagine the soul would be the same. So we'll help each other. I'll make you eternally young and healthy, and you'll heal my soul. I'm offering you the option to live forever. Even if you lose your limbs or are severely injured, as long as you breathe, I can heal you. I'll also stop my war with Valthorn. The only reason I started it was to obtain their information about souls and access to their people. This way, if someone comprehended the soul law, I could get them. If there's anything else you want, you just have to ask. Godric replies. Lorik pretends to think it over for a minute before Godric continues. If you were to refuse, I'd have no choice but to take you with me. I'd use my law to torture you beyond your imagination. I'll make you experience what hell must feel like. Godric adds, causing Lorik to scoff. I've already learned what hell feels like, and I'm no stranger to pain, Lorik says while motioning to his scars. Well, I can always go after those close to you. I imagine touring your family or loved ones would make you cooperative, Godric says, causing Lorik to grit his teeth. Law waves roar along his gauntlets as Lorik fills them with soul law-infused sword auras. Guess I struck a nerve, Godric says before reaching out. He points his left palm at Lorik. Lorik rushes him before Godic's left arm bubbles up. A flesh ball shoots out of his palm quickly. Lorik slides under it before finishing his sword auras. He swings out, shooting one at Godric. He jumps to dodge it. Lorik fires off his second sword aura before making two more. It misses, as Godric easily dodges it. He lands and watches Lorik make another sword aura on his right arm. He infuses his soul and hunt laws into it. That's enough of this. You can't beat me, Godic says before pointing a finger gun at Lorik. Before Lorik can react, Godric's finger bursts into blood. Lorik feels something shoot into his right arm,